And the Obama administration will ask the Supreme Court to weigh in on the president's plan to shield millions of illegal immigrants from deportation. The Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals Monday upheld a Texas-based federal judge's injunction blocking the president's plan. 26 states had challenged the plan in court. Republicans call it an illegal executive overreach. Dan Stein is president of the Federation of Immigration Reform, or FAIR. You're an experienced attorney in the area of immigration reform. Does the administration have a case?
Clearly, the Fifth Circuit doesn't think so. This three-judge panel, at least two of them anyway, they roundly refuted the administration's contention at every single level. The president and his administration, they were asserting they have this unlimited right to admit aliens, give them work documents without regard to the law, with what Congress said, asserting they have this discretion to just ignore the law. But they made a mistake because they went a step further and said they're not just going to ignore the law, they're going to give out work documents when they clearly had no statutory authority. The Court of Appeals said no. Now, obviously they could call for a rehearing, but they've decided to go ahead and go petition the Supreme Court. That means this is probably going to get pushed well into 2016. Maybe it'll be heard April, May, June. Maybe they get a decision in July, maybe later. You know, it's going to change the whole campaign, right? Because suddenly the Republican candidates have all this political cover now to denounce what the president has done. You have Hillary Clinton and you have Bernie Sanders, who are going like a freight train down the track 1,000 miles an hour. They're going to go bigger than the president. Well, all of a sudden now Donald Trump and Ben Carter, they could all say, hey, you know, this is illegal. We've got a federal court that's saying this now. It's been affirmed by an appeals court. So it's a huge game changer for this campaign.
You know, let's back up into the issue itself. Can't immigrants be seen as a resource for our nation?
Look, we can all be proud of the tradition of immigration and proud of the role that it's played in our history, but in the end, the rule of law is what ties us together as a people, right? Respect for law, cornerstone of citizenship. We're not talking about people who played by the rules and played the game properly. It's about what does it mean to be an American if you're allowed to jump the line, cheat the system, and get ahead by breaking the rules.
What's the proper way to
Proper
reform?
way, of course, is to, well, you reform immigration by analyzing how did we get in this mess? Why do we have 10, 12 million people here illegally? How did it happen? Reverse engineer and say, all right, what are the elements of state and local cooperation, interior enforcement, work security, work documents, employer sanctions, and an expeditious process so that if you break the rules, you don't get to stay and you're quickly removed. How do we put all that in place to make sure it doesn't happen again?
We'll talk about that next time. Dan Stein with FAIR. Thanks for joining us, Dan.
My pleasure.